All right, so you're prepping for an economic advisor interview.
Yeah.
That's exciting
Yeah, it is.
and probably a little bit nerve-wracking.
It can be, for sure.
Well, we've got a mountain of RoleCatcher guides here
Yeah.
to kind of help unpack what we should expect
Right.
in these interviews.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go in a real deep dive here.
Okay.
And not just kind of what to expect, but like really how to approach the questions that we know they love to ask.
Absolutely.
We'll also sprinkle in some career insights too
Yeah.
along the way. So what it takes to thrive as an economic advisor,
Right.
not just land the job.
Yeah.
And of course, how RoleCatcher's AI can be like your secret weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Your secret weapon.
okay, so one of the first questions that you're almost guaranteed to hear is, what inspired you to become an economic advisor?
Yeah.
So it seems really simple, but there's a lot they're looking for in that answer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is your chance to showcase your passion for economics. What makes you tick?
Yeah.
Why are you drawn to advising? Think about what initially sparked your interest.
It's got to be more than just, I'm good at numbers, right?
Exactly. It's about connecting your personal interests to real-world economic impact. Did a specific event shape your perspective?
Yeah.
Maybe a book, a mentor, or even a personal experience that opened your eyes to the power of economics.
I remember I read this article about behavioral economics.
Oh, yeah.
And how it influences consumer choices, and that kind of got me hooked.
That's a great example. It shows you're engaged with the field beyond just textbook theory.
Right.
And the beauty of RoleCatcher's AI is that it helps you tailor your answers to specific roles in companies. So if you're interviewing for a position focused on consumer behavior,
Yeah,
you can highlight that interest.
that's right. The AI analyzes the job description and suggests relevant experiences and skills to emphasize in your answers.
It's like having a customized cheat sheet for each interview.
Okay, next up, how do you stay up to date on the latest economic trends and news? This is all about showcasing your commitment to continuous learning.
Yeah, don't just rattle off a list of generic news sources.
Yeah.
Be specific. Mention niche publications, blogs, podcasts, or even thought leaders you follow.
Right.
Think about what sets you apart and demonstrates your genuine interest in the field.
And areas of specialization that particularly fascinate you.
Exactly. Maybe you're passionate about sustainable finance or the impact of technology on economic growth.
Right.
Sharing those specific interests can spark a deeper conversation and make you more memorable.
Okay, so let's get into some of your analytical skills. What is your approach to analyzing economic data?
Ooh, this is where you shine a light on your methodology.
Yeah.
How do you approach a problem?
Yeah.
What tools and techniques do you rely on?
Right.
Don't just list them. Explain why you choose certain approaches and how they help you extract meaningful insights.
Right, so instead of just saying, like, I use regression analysis,
Yeah.
explain how you apply regression techniques to understand the relationship between variables like interest rates and consumer spending.
Exactly. And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
It can analyze your answers and provide feedback on whether you're using the right level of technical detail for the specific audience you're addressing.
So valuable.
It's like having an expert interviewer in your corner, helping you strike the right balance between showcasing your expertise and avoiding overwhelming the listener with jargon.
All right, so speaking of explaining complex topics, how do you communicate complex economic concepts to non-experts?
Ooh, this is where they test your ability to distill complex information into clear and concise language.
Right, like that game show where you have to explain a term
Right.
using only one-syllable words.
Right. It's about finding analogies, metaphors, and real-world examples that resonate with a broader audience. Think about how you'd explain a concept to a friend or family member who doesn't have a background in economics.
Right, so if you're talking about inflation,
Yeah.
you could compare it to the rising cost of a cup of coffee over time.
That's a great example. And remember, practice makes perfect. RoleCatcher's AI lets you rehearse your answers to these types of questions and get personalized feedback on how to improve your clarity and conciseness.
Like having a coach right there.
Now let's tackle a couple of questions that focus on your experience.
Okay.
The first one is, what is your experience working with policymakers and government officials?
Okay, so this is where you're going to showcase any relevant experience you have in interacting with or advising government agencies or policymakers.
Even if you haven't held a formal advisory role.
Yeah.
Think about projects research or even internships where you've gained insights into the policymaking process.
Right. So maybe you've analyzed a specific policy's impact.
Yeah.
Or presented research findings to a government committee.
Exactly. And don't forget about coursework or extracurricular activities related to public policy or government affairs.
Okay, so similar question. What is your experience working with international organizations and foreign governments?
This is all about highlighting your global perspective and understanding of different economic systems.
Right, so if you've worked on projects
Yes.
with an international scope, studied abroad, or even just traveled extensively and engaged with different cultures, those are all valuable experiences to mention.
It shows you're comfortable operating in a globalized world and can navigate the complexities of different economic and political landscapes.
And with the increasing interconnectedness of the global economy,
Yes.
this type of experience is becoming more and more valuable.
Absolutely. Now, here's a question that's particularly relevant in today's world.
Okay.
How do you balance economic growth with social and environmental concerns?
This is a big one.
This one's all about demonstrating your awareness of the bigger picture. That economics isn't just about profits, but also about sustainability and social impact.
Right.
They want to see that you can think critically about the long-term consequences of economic decisions and that you're committed to finding solutions that benefit both people and the planet.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where economic growth aligns with social and environmental well-being.
Exactly. You can talk about specific examples where you've incorporated these considerations into your work, maybe by analyzing the environmental impact of a proposed policy,
Right.
or considering the distributional effects of a particular economic model.
And frameworks and approaches you find valuable for addressing these challenges.
Yeah, like sustainable finance or impact investing.
What is your experience with econometric modeling?
This is where they assess your quantitative skills
Right.
and ability to apply statistical methods to economic data. Be honest about your skill level, but also highlight any relevant projects or coursework where you've utilized econometric techniques.
Even if you're not an econometrics whiz, you can still discuss your willingness to learn
Yes.
and your interest in further developing this valuable skill.
And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answer to the specific job requirements. If the role heavily emphasizes econometric modeling, you'll want to showcase your expertise in detail. But if it's a more general advisory position, you can focus on your broader analytical skills and your comfort working with data.
Okay, great point. It's all about understanding the audience and tailoring your message accordingly.
Exactly. Now let's wrap up this section with a classic behavioral question.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult economic recommendation?
All right, so they're not looking for a right or wrong answer here,
No.
but rather insights into your decision-making process.
Exactly.
Choose an example that showcases your ability to analyze data, weigh different perspectives, and arrive at a well-reasoned conclusion.
And don't forget about the communication aspect.
Right.
Can you explain your recommendation clearly and persuasively, even if it's a complex or controversial issue?
Yeah, it's about demonstrating your ability to think critically, communicate effectively, and stand behind your recommendations.
And again, RoleCatcher's AI can be a valuable tool for practicing these types of behavioral questions. It can analyze your responses and provide feedback on how to structure your answers, highlight key points, and make sure you're addressing all the essential elements.
It's like having a personal interview coach.
So before we move on to the next set of questions, let's take a quick pause and recap what we've covered so far.
All right, so we've tackled some of the most common economic advisor interview questions, focusing on how to showcase your passion, your analytical skills, your experience, and your ability to communicate complex ideas effectively.
And we've highlighted how RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answers, practice your delivery, and ultimately boost your confidence going into that interview.
We'll be right back with more insights and strategies to help you ace that interview and launch your career as an economic advisor.
Stay tuned. Welcome back. So we're going to dive a little deeper into this economic advisor interview prep.
Okay.
And this time we're going to shift gears a little bit from those specific questions and into more kind of broader career insights.
Yeah, landing the job is just the beginning. We want to set you up for success in the long run, and RoleCatcher's Career Guide is packed with valuable information to help you kind of navigate that career path.
It covers everything from potential advancement paths to valuable certifications that can boost your credibility and earning potential.
Okay, so let's start with advancement.
Okay.
What are some typical trajectories for economic advisors?
Well, the career guide outlines several possibilities you could move into leadership roles within your organization,
Hmm.
eventually becoming a chief economist or heading a research department.
Okay.
And if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, you could even start your own consulting firm,
Oh, wow.
advising a diverse portfolio of clients.
That sounds like the dream.
It certainly has its appeal,
Yeah.
but regardless of which path you choose, continuous learning is key for long-term success in this field.
The career guide emphasizes this a lot. Why is staying ahead of the curve so crucial?
Because economics is constantly evolving. New theories emerge, new data becomes available, and global events constantly reshape the economic landscape.
So what you learned in school 10 years ago
Right.
might not be totally applicable now.
Might only be the foundation.
Yeah. So how can aspiring economic advisors make sure they're continuously learning and growing?
Well, the career guide suggests several strategies: pursuing advanced degrees
Okay.
or certifications like a CFA, CFP, or CPA,
Hmm.
demonstrates your commitment to professional development and can unlock new opportunities.
And don't underestimate the value of attending conferences, workshops,
Yeah.
professional development programs.
They provide opportunities to network with other professionals, learn from experts, and stay up to date on the latest trends.
So it's like a continuous feedback loop, constantly learning, growing, refining your expertise.
Exactly. And speaking of refining your expertise,
Yes.
let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can give you a competitive edge throughout your career journey.
We've already touched on how its AI-powered feedback can help tailor your interview answers, but it goes far beyond that.
Right. RoleCatcher's CV Resume Builder uses AI to analyze job descriptions
Okay.
and help you highlight the most relevant skills and experiences, ensuring your CV stands out from the crowd.
So it's not just about formatting, it's about strategically presenting your qualifications
Precisely.
to match what employers are looking for.
It's like having a personal resume expert guiding you through every step of the process.
And what about after you've submitted your application? Does RoleCatcher offer any support in connecting with potential employers?
Absolutely. The employer matching feature allows you to opt in and let employers find you.
Wait, hold on. Employers can actually reach out to you.
That's right. It flips the traditional job search process on its head. Instead of you chasing after jobs, the jobs come to you.
Okay, so how does that work?
Registered employers can search for candidates based on specific criteria like skills, experience, and even career goals.
Oh, wow.
RoleCatcher's AI then matches them with potential candidates, facilitating direct communication through the platform.
So it's like a supercharged networking tool,
Exactly.
but powered by AI instead of awkward small talk at industry events.
It streamlines the process and saves you time and effort.
Yeah, I can see how these AI tools can be incredibly valuable throughout your career,
Yes.
not just during the job search.
They're designed to empower you at every stage of your journey, from crafting a compelling CV to connecting with the right opportunities.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about kind of a crucial aspect of being an economic advisor,
Mm.
and that's navigating the balance between economic growth and social and environmental concerns.
This is where your values come into play.
Mm,
It's about recognizing that economics isn't just about numbers and profits.
yeah.
It's about people and the planet.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide emphasizes the importance of responsible and ethical decision-making.
Absolutely. As an economic advisor, your recommendations can have far-reaching consequences impacting livelihoods, communities, and the environment.
So how can aspiring economic advisors prepare to grapple with these complex challenges?
It starts with developing a deep understanding of sustainability principles, social impact assessment,
Mm-hmm.
and the interconnectedness of economic, social, and environmental systems.
That means going beyond traditional economic models and considering the long-term implications
Big.
of your recommendations.
It's about asking tough questions, challenging assumptions, and being willing to advocate for solutions that benefit all stakeholders,
Not just a select few.
not just a select few. And this is an area where continuous learning is especially important.
Mm-hmm.
Staying up to date on the latest research best practices
Right.
and emerging trends in sustainable development and social responsibility is crucial.
Okay, so let's move on to another important aspect
Okay.
of preparing for an economic advisor interview.
Yeah.
And that's understanding the types of technical skills
Mm-hmm.
employers might be looking for.
One area that often comes up is econometric modeling.
Right, we touched on that a little earlier.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar with the term, can you give us a little bit more?
Certainly, econometrics essentially involves applying statistical methods to economic data.
Okay.
It helps us understand relationships between variables, test hypotheses, and make predictions about future economic trends.
So if you've built econometric models, even for academic purposes,
Yes.
this is your time to shine during the interview.
Exactly. Be prepared to discuss your experience with specific econometric techniques,
Okay.
like regression analysis, time series analysis, or panel data analysis.
And even if you haven't had extensive hands-on experience with econometric modeling,
Yes.
you can still demonstrate your understanding of the underlying principles
Right.
and your willingness to learn and develop those skills further.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Employers value candidates who are adaptable, eager to learn, and passionate about continuously expanding their skill set.
Okay, so let's transition to a different type of question
Mm-hmm.
that often arises in economic advisor interviews. And those are behavioral questions?
Behavioral questions are designed to assess your soft skills, like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and leadership. Mm-hmm.
They often begin with phrases like, tell me about a time when, or describe a situation where...
Right. They want to hear about specific examples from your past experiences that demonstrate
Right.
how you've handled challenging situations, made decisions, and interacted with others.
One common behavioral question in economic advisor interviews is, can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult economic recommendation?
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one.
This question is all about showcasing your ability to analyze complex data, weigh competing priorities, and make tough decisions even when there isn't a clear-cut right or wrong answer.
So it's essential to choose an example that highlights your analytical skills, communication abilities, and ability to think critically and strategically.
And remember, it's not just about reciting the story.
Yeah.
It's about reflecting on what you learned from the experience
Right.
and how it shapes your approach to economic advising.
RoleCatcher's AI can be a valuable asset in practicing your responses to behavioral questions. Absolutely. It can provide feedback on the structure of your answers, ensuring you're hitting all the key points, and help you refine your delivery to project confidence and clarity.
It's like having a personal interview coach providing personalized guidance.
Now, before we move on, let's recap some key takeaways from this section.
Okay. We've explored various career paths for economic advisors, emphasizing the importance of continuous learning and professional development.
We've also discussed how RoleCatcher's AI tools can empower you throughout your career journey, from crafting a standout CV to connecting with potential employers.
And we've delved into the ethical considerations of economic advising, highlighting the need to balance economic growth with social and environmental well-being.
We'll be back in a flash with more insights and strategies to help you excel in your economic advisor interview. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into preparing for an economic advisor interview.
We've covered a lot of ground, from dissecting those tricky interview questions to exploring career paths and even harnessing the power of AI.
And now it's time to bring it all together and talk about what really sets successful candidates apart.
It's not just about having the right answers or a stellar resume. It's about the way you present yourself,
Right.
the way you communicate your passion and expertise.
It's about telling your story.
Exactly. You're not just a collection of skills and experiences. You're a unique individual with a genuine passion for economics and a desire to make a positive impact.
And that's what truly resonates with interviewers. They want to see that spark, that authentic enthusiasm for the field and its potential to shape the world.
Remember, you're not just applying for a job. You're proposing a partnership.
Right. You're saying, I have the skills and knowledge to help you achieve your goals, but I also bring a deep understanding of the complexities and a commitment to finding solutions that benefit all stakeholders.
And that authenticity shines through in every aspect of the interview process, from your responses to the questions to the way you engage in conversation.
So as you prepare for this interview, don't just focus on memorizing facts and figures. Take some time to reflect on your own journey, your motivations, the experiences that have shaped your perspective.
Connect with your passion, your why. Why are you drawn to economics? What kind of impact do you want to make?
Because when you genuinely connect with your purpose, it becomes contagious.
Yes.
It draws people and makes them want to hear what you have to say.
That's how you stand out from the crowd, not by being the most technically proficient, but by being the most authentically you.
And that brings us to RoleCatcher's AI tools, which can play a crucial role in helping you showcase your authentic self.
Absolutely. The AI-powered feedback on your interview answers goes beyond just grammar and structure. It helps you refine your message to ensure it aligns with your personal brand and values.
So it's not about creating a generic cookie-cutter response.
Right.
It's about crafting answers that are true to you
Exactly.
and reflect your unique perspective.
And that's what makes a lasting impression, because at the end of the day, interviewers are looking for someone they can connect with, someone they believe in.
And when you're able to articulate your passion and purpose, it builds trust and credibility.
Here's a final thought for you to ponder as you embark on this exciting journey.
Okay.
As an economic advisor, you have the potential to influence decisions that impact countless lives.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
It's a powerful question that we should all be asking ourselves, regardless of our profession.
Yeah, because ultimately, success isn't just about climbing the career ladder.
Yeah.
It's about using our talents and passions to make a positive contribution to the world.
And that's what the deep dive is all about, helping you unlock your potential, navigate your career journey with purpose, and make a meaningful impact.
So go out there and crush that interview, and remember, you've got this.
We're cheering you on every step of the way.